Hello, friends. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything is working okay today. I am here. I am running very late. I apologize. I hope. Thank you. First of all, thank you all for bearing with me. I hope this was worth the wait. Exiled Faye, I don't know if you're back yet, but thank you so much for the resub. 4 months. Very much appreciate it. Rune Wolf, hello. Hello, everyone who may be lurking. Again, thank you. I forgot to tweet about... Oh, look, my Twitter's already open. Here we go. Am writing. Am editing. That was not planned, by the way. I thought I had closed my Twitter. Writing community, spelled correctly. Twitch streaming. Small streamers. And we tweet so people know that we're here. A bunch of people asked me during November, hey Splatter VHS, how's it going? A bunch of people asked me in November after all the insanity of how much writing I did, are you gonna take a break? In December, are you going to be slowing it down? Sorry, fixing my mat here beneath my desk. And the answer is no. I originally planned in December to edit the entirety of Everyone's Child. I wanted to. Hey, Flutter, how's it going? How is the day treating you? How is the new job treating you? I had originally planned to try and get all of the edits for Everyone's Child into December. That is not going to happen. I very quickly had to accept that I would basically not be able to sleep this month. In order to make that happen, and healthy working habits are very important, so we're simply going to cram as many edits as possible for Everyone's Child into this week and the first 3 days of next week, because after that, on the 22nd of December, it sounds crazy to say this, that it's this close, but on the 22nd of December, Ghost and I are headed east to visit family for Christmas. Please let me know if the sound balance is off, by the way. I can never quite tell if I've gotten it into the right place. But Ghost and I will be heading east to visit with his family for Christmas. And we will be very, very AFK for a week and a half, I believe. We will be getting back on the 1st of January, and I will probably be taking an extra week off of streaming, so that I have a bit of a break. New job is good, but the vid can go to hell. Oh no, did you come back? Is it definitely positive, Flutter? Did you, this is your second time having it, isn't it? Can't words. Tell the Pepper family I send my love. I definitely will. I was telling them about your new job yesterday, and they were very happy for you. So yeah, I have a lot of work to cram into a small period of time, and unfortunately, as always happens before holidays, I am also compiling a list of housework that needs to get done before we leave, and there's a bunch of little extras that are cropping up. And I'm gonna be totally honest, last week was a dumpster fire. Both Ghost and I were sick for the majority of the week. He literally came home, and I think it was Thursday, and called us the Misery Twins. So, there is just a lot that I have to get through, before Christmas happens. So if I'm a little bit scatterbrained, if I'm a little bit late for streams from time to time, if I'm a little bit more all over the place than I have been in the past, am I ever not all over the place? But if I'm a little bit more all over the place than usual, it's just because it's the mad dash to Christmas. This happens every year, that we travel. Last year, we didn't have travel, so there was a little bit more leeway. Things were a little bit more chill. But it's that mad dash to the end of the year to get those last few goals in, to make sure that I leave everything in a good place for next year. So thank you for bearing with me. That is the main reason I'm late today, is because there was a lot of health stuff last week. I'm trying to get back to my regular routine. There's 1,050,000 things extra to do because of Christmas approaching. And so I'm just trying to get it all organized. Maskling, hello. How are you, my friends? I hope everyone is doing well. I won't know officially until tomorrow, but it certainly has taken me down a couple notches. Oh, Flutter, that sucks. I hope you're getting rest. I hope you're chill vibing with us here today and that you feel better soon. Because being sick sucks. I actually, we were supposed to, well, we did have Ghost's Christmas party for his school, happened on Saturday, and I'm sure it was lovely. He went, I did not. There has been something gnarly going around his school. He had it last week. We have a sort of a isolation protocol, or like quarantine protocol as we call it in the house, whereby when he is sick, we're very careful about not breathing on each other, only hugging from behind, as we call it, and not cuddling as much as we usually do, because we're trying to prevent that sickness from passing to me. We've been very successful at it so far. We've managed to, I've managed to not get sick twice that he's gotten sick, because I think I'm far enough away from this last sickness to say that I'm probably past the incubation stage. There's been a lot of noise downstairs today, so I apologize if you guys hear anything. But I knew that because there has been so much going around his school, that if I were to go to this party, I would pretty much be accepting that I would be coming home sick. There would probably have been no real way around it. You know, many of these people, love them dearly, but they've been exposed to whatever's going around the school through no fault of their own. And it was a dinner and drinks kind of ordeal, so or affair rather. So I was like, you know what? Like, we very quickly, Ghost and I sat down, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I should go. I can't really get sick right now. And, you know, real talk, there's been something going around the school, and he was like, you don't want to get it. It's been super gnarly. Like, it's 100% fine. You stay home, you order dinner. And I was like, and yeah, if I don't go, because I'm the shy one who always wants to come home from the parties sooner, I was like, if I don't go, you don't have to drive, you can drink more, have a fun time. So yeah, I stayed in for the weekend, specifically to avoid getting sick. There's a lot of germs going around in a lot of places right now, so I 100% get it. I'm very fortunate that I can make the decision, because I work from home, to isolate myself when I need to and stay away from germs and not have to put myself in that position. So 100% feel you there, Flutter, and I hope you're taking care. Got a candle going, my leg warmer's on, and I'm chilling. Maskling, that sounds very comfy, and comfy is my aesthetic. Needed my hoodie. Need my hoodie from the dryer. Yes! Exiled Faye. Hoodie, 100%. Glad you have the ability to distance from it. Me too. And honestly, real talk, I have some very sober moments when I'm making these decisions, because I realize that not everybody gets to make that choice. Some people have to go to work. They have to be among people. The mask protocols are gone from most places. When I go out to do my shopping and to get my blood work done and all that kind of stuff, I can choose to wear a mask to protect myself, of course. But depending on where you work and what kind of job you do, not everyone can make those same choices. So for me, I feel very fortunate that because I'm immunocompromised and because, you know, there's a potential for things to be not great for me if I do get sick, especially while I'm on medication that can potentially also affect my immune system. It's a privilege and a security blanket to be able to make those choices. It shouldn't be that way. I feel like everybody should have the option to take care of themselves if they need to, but unfortunately that's not the world that we're living in right now. So I've had several very sober realizations about that sort of thing in recent days, and I consider myself very fortunate. But here I am an hour late starting stream. So here we are. This is Everyone's Child. I changed the title of the first book to Someone's Suffering Child from Someone's Wayward Child, in case anyone's like, hey, that wasn't the name of the book before. Indeed, I changed it because I like this better. Because I want to use errant in the next title, and I felt they were too similar. I basically don't want to give every title exactly the same name with different words. Last week we edited the first 3 chapters of this, which was 4 scenes total. And the 4th scene here needed a lot of changes. I think the only thing I changed, I kind of went back through this a little bit off stream. And the only thing I actually changed that I didn't change on stream was I had mentioned that the Grandmaster leaned over to talk with one of the other schoolmasters, and I indicated that that master was a halfling, because it was the only description that I added in that I hadn't really given some indication of what the race was, and I want this to be like a diverse race panel. So I had indicated that there's an elf, there's a dwarf, there's a human, so I wanted to make it clear that this person was a halfling. I haven't touched this since the end of last stream. I've mostly been working on Aravalia Chronicles off camera. I'm very, very close to finishing book, 11 of that. I have 2 scenes left to write, and then I just have to update my outline. That will put me at goal for that for the year. I will come back in January and write book 12, which is outlined already. The plan is there. Wrong chat. I mean, hey, I'm glad you love scary. And no worries, we all do that from time to time. Sometimes I type something and it doesn't end up in the window that I expect it to be in. And then I'm like, okay, which chat did I just type that in? Or which post-it note did it end up in on my desktop? And every now and then I find it later on like a post-it note or something. Scary as my life. I may be drinking way too early. Splatter VHS, you know what? No judgment here. If you are chilling and having a good time, then cheers. I'm drinking water, but still, cheers. So yeah, we're gonna edit hopefully 2 scenes today, and if I remember correctly, they don't need a lot. We're gonna be looking at the Sea of Red. Ooh, actually, you guys can't see that. Hang on. Hang on, you're not supposed to see that one. We're gonna be looking at the Sea of Red, that is my notes. The hoodie was still warm from the dryer. Oh, I love it when it's fresh warm and you get to that, like, extra heat for a couple extra minutes. Perfect, Exiled Fae. Ghost and I always do the laundry on Sundays, and Ghost always very helpfully helps me fold it, because it's, like, interspersed with movie night. And so I was running a bit late yesterday, and I brought up the towels, and by the time I brought up the towels from the dryer, because they needed a couple extra minutes, he had finished ironing his shirt for today and just spread across the bed. And so in order to announce that I was there with the laundry, I just turned the basket upside down and dumped all of the still warm towels and stuff all over him. And at first he was like, ugh, but then he was like, you know what? This is so warm from the dryer. And I was like, I know, right? It smells good. And there's no warmth like fresh from the dryer warmth. Like, I'm telling ya. So yeah, I originally hoped that I could do all edits for this book on stream. That won't happen, just because I do need to do more work than I am capable of doing on stream. I can't spend this week streaming all day, every day. And I do have days where I have to double up on this work. So unfortunately, some of this is going to have to be edited off stream. I will keep you guys up to date on basically what I'm doing with it. I'm going to try to get as much of the early book edits on stream as possible so that the stuff that is happening off screen is stuff that I would have had to hide with small words anyway. I know it's probably not that big a deal to you guys if I work on this off stream. You're probably all like, do what you have to do. There's a part of me that feels guilty because I know I did promise to do this whole thing on stream. I will fulfill that promise as much as possible. We are looking at chapter 4 today, and I think if I look back at the original chapter 4, I actually have to change the order of some scenes because I originally wrote 2 Ciri scenes and then 2 Jalen and Alethea scenes, and so I'm actually swapping that around so that we have a Ciri scene and then an Alethea Jalen scene, just because it's a way to increase tension in areas where there's tension, to pull away and make the reader wait to find out what happens. And also because I found that in interspersing it more, it balances the pacing a little bit better, because Ciri's plot has fewer scenes in it than Alethea and Jalen's. I basically just accidentally created their ship name. You're welcome. Have it. Aleolin. So it actually just balances out the pacing a little bit more, so I apologize in advance if there's some copy and pasting movement around here. I promised you guys could see it, you know, the deep dark secrets of how my process works. So Rune Wolf, enjoy your lurk. Puppy needs me again. Also gonna make some tea. Tea is the best. Rune Wolf, please let us know what kind of tea when you come back. Good luck with the puppy. Also, Exiled Faye, I hope your doggo is doing okay. I noticed before that you said you had to go help with the existential crisis. So I hope he's doing better. So yeah, we are looking at 2 scenes today, and you'll notice that I don't have a ton of notes here for what needs done. The notes that I do have are, someone needs a name, not surprising. This is the 3rd time that we have had to name someone in this book since we started editing it, and we are on chapter 4. Great track record. So the superior, who first appears in this scene, is important later on, so we need to get him named so that we can, start having a reference point for him. And the only other thing, which is also a very common note for me, is that the Watcher's Sanctuary needs more physical description. I think I started to do some of that during the writing phase, but I definitely, this is also a very common thing for me, is I tend to underwrite my descriptions. I do a lot of the character emotion and the dialogue and all that kind of stuff in my first drafts, but I often gloss over like the rooms that they're standing in. So we'll be adding in some description. I have no notes for the second scene that we're editing, which means when I wrote it, I was pretty happy with it. It hopefully just needs a read through and polish. We'll see if I change my mind when I'm actually in the heat of it. But let's see. We've got chapter 4. I did go back and name each of these chapters. So we have chapter 1, I named A Suffering Child. Chapter 2, In Two Places at Once. And chapter 3, On the Warpath. And I am keeping future titles. You can't see them right now, but I'm keeping a list of future titles just in case I need them. So we are here. Gonna throw a lurk on. I've been fading in and out. Flutter, you need rest. Get a lot of it. Feel better. Take care of yourself. My back is extra crunchy today. It cracked 4 times today on the roller. Ouch! Although if it feels better, then I guess that's a good thing. Renaming characters, I know that curse. Not even renaming, just naming. I don't name my characters in the first draft. They're just the superior, the mentor, the guy who did the thing. It feels lazy to me, but I do that because it just lets me keep writing more quickly. So, yeah. Sorry, sniffly. I have had a massive pressure headache today, so even though the weather claims it's not going to snow today, I would not be surprised if there's a little bit of snow that happens at some point tonight, because usually when I get that sort of, it's hard to describe, but that almost like hollow-headed headache sensation, it usually means the pressure is changing or about to change, because I am a human barometer. But yeah, so I'm actually going to, you guys aren't allowed to see that. I'm actually going to grab a name for this gent first. Now, if I remember correctly, we did name series mentor in the first chapter, and we named her Nyceru. So I'm going to grab that name because I'm going to have to also put that in, I think. Because I think she's mentioned. And then we have this guy who, if I remember correctly, I kind of made him like a dusty sort of full of himself kind of guy. Let me see. Oh, this isn't actually the guy I'm thinking of. He'll need a name later too. Oh no, okay, there was, so we have older, but not quite wrinkled, a single silver streak running the length of the left side of the scalp. I actually did description here this time. His face was a series of hard angles, and his nose was a harsh hook. So yeah, we kind of want like a little bit of a pretentious name. Thank you for the posture check, Maskling. I keep adjusting my lumbar support pillow for my new chair. So let's see if we can get this dusty, pretentious fellow a name. I might come over here. Sometimes I feel spoiled for choice when I use this one. Because sometimes I just want plain old, like, human fantasy names. So maybe I'll just go for the, yeah, just go for the simpler one. The kitty is working amazingly. This chair is much more comfortable with a lumbar support that actually fits it. It's very comfortable. I still, when I was having back cramps, I still wasn't really able to sit in my chair because, you know, just sitting in general is a pain in the ass. But when I'm sitting here normally, I feel very comfortable. I feel very supported. This chair is very firm. Also, I did mention, the setting is, it's a high fantasy novel, Maskling. I mentioned last week that we had some issues with our new chairs because the armrests came with broken pieces. I've shown this a few times that, like, this little button that's supposed to go on my armrest didn't fit. Ghost has been in contact with Secret Lab. He contacted their warranty claim department, let them know that the armrests arrived broken, a riven broken. I don't know, words. And they have sent out replacement armrests. So we were worried that they were going to want us to ship back the main portion of the chair because the armrests come pre-attached. But they're basically just sending us the pieces that were broken, which we're really happy about. They noted that 2 claims were filed from the same household, so they have shipped them together, so it won't be one of us gets it, and the other one has to wait longer. So we're pretty happy about that. I think those are supposed to arrive tomorrow. I meant the name of the character. The character doesn't have a name yet. I thought you were going to suggest some names. But that's okay, because we're gonna name him now. I like Zaskil as a name in general. I'm gonna write it down. Even if I don't use it, I want it. Also, like... Sometimes I like to just write down a bunch of names, even if I don't use them all right away, because it never hurts to have names. I like Yorma too. This was a good seed. There's a lot of good names in here. Overton. Sounds like a town. Okay, I jotted down over here, I jotted down a couple of names. On a scale of assholery, 1 being innocent, sweet, precious bean, well, he ain't that, and 10 being, dear God, how long has it been since this guy was punched in the face? Where's this guy? Like, 9.8. 9.8 on the scale, thank you. Believe me, in my other book, I have one character who is probably a 15 on that scale. Not just how long has it been since this guy was punched in the face, but why are you not actively punching this guy in the face? So I think I might name him Zaskil. Or I guess it would be Zaskil. But I also wrote down to run Yorma and Drassler. Humphrey or Ignatius. Interesting. I don't know if Humphrey would fit. I like Ignatius. I might save that one. I might add it to my list. Because I have a character that I think that will fit that comes in later. Believe me, I have like 20 unnamed characters. No name goes to waste. Names never go to waste here. So I've written a couple of these down. Neysiru is one we've already used. But this way I just have a pool of names, and then the next time I need a name, I can just pull that up. The other thing I need to do is I need to also open yet another window because I don't have enough open yet. I need to write down how many words we're starting with. And then we are going to do, I know I'm so far behind on everything. We're going to do our first sprint, and then I'm going to make some tea. So we're doing 30-minute sprints today because for me, editing always goes much smoother when I am doing it for a little bit longer. We're starting out at 2,107 words. And I'm kind of looking forward to, I'm planning to switch up a little bit how I calculate my edits in the new year because it's too much math. But that is about 3.5 pages. So theoretically, if this doesn't need a ton of edits, I might be able to finish most of it in the first sprint. I'm hoping that these are fairly clean. The second session, the second scene, there we go, words, is longer. So we'll see. Okay. I can't show you guys how many tabs I have open right now, but I have like, I just have like 2 of everything. So I have like, I easily have like 12 tabs open right now. I try not to have that many tabs open when I'm streaming because I feel like I'm gonna click on the wrong thing every time. But it's what's happening right now. And it matches. I have so many tabs open in my brain as well that, yeah. Shall we do the thing, my friends? Knock on wood, my freaking white noise has been cooperating today. Let's see how long that lasts. I've been reading the first sentences out loud. So we have, for the start of chapter 4, Ciri sighed as she lifted the file on top of her stack and scanned the name. I mostly don't hate it. Might change it to from the top of, which will actually add more words. Ciri sighed as she lifted the file from the top of her stack and scanned the name. Then she leaned over her file drawer and began shifting... And that's not what it says. Then she leaned over her file drawer and began sifting through the labels to find the new arrival's proper place. Whoops. So, very simple changes. We have Ciri sighed as she lifted the file from the top of her stack and scanned the name. Then she leaned over the proper drawer and sifted through the labels to find the new arrival's proper place. for talking about Bellicus from my novel, The Antagonist of Book 1, then I'd say he's maybe 9 to 11. Nice. Nice. You really gotta have at least one face punchable character in there, right? Like... What? Glowworm? Hello! What is up, my friends? Glowworm 94. Let me make sure I spelled that right. Please check out Glowworm. She is amazing. I was lurky-looing on her stream this weekend. I didn't get to say much because there was a lot going on. She is awesome. Please check her out. What were you up to today? Kena Bridge of Spirits. Ooh, that sounds like an interesting game. Is that a scary one, or is it more like a survival one? Bulkaturn, did I say that right? Welcome in. Hello, hello. Typhoonsy, hello. Volatile Toast, hello. Oh, I love that Christmas wiggle. What? So cute. I might be a little quiet because I am in Sprint, so we are editing, but please let me know how it's going. What is up? It's not scary, it's an adventure game, and super cute. It sounds very interesting just from the name. I feel like I'm gonna have to look it up and see what it's about. Anything that's like Bridge of Spirits sounds like super cool. It is going well. I'm way behind today because I have so much going on that my brain has been scattered to the four winds, but it's going well. We're getting there. Things are happening. Words are changing. It's not scary yet proceeds to get scared by every blurb. I do like that there are essentially blurps of Glowworm being scared by Glowworm being scared by Glowworm. They're like, it's like Glowception. How deep can we get those screams? There's a reason why there's not blurps on my stream. Not very conducive to the editing environment. Many, many books. Indeed, indeed. I'm just about to do my my final like roundup blog of how I did for my goals, and I won't get this book done, but I think I did finish all of my other writing goals for the year, which is spectacular because I always am very ambitious, and I always realize that I'm trying to cram too much into the year. So the fact that I'm going to miss finishing this book by an entire 3 whole slots. If I just had 2 extra days, I would be able to finish editing this book. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm pretty... Normally I'm like, oh, you know, I feel like I could have done more. I should have done better. But I wrote 5 books this year plus 2 under my pen name. And I edited 3, 4, 5. I edited 5 plus 2 under my pen name. So I think I can be a little forgiving of myself that I can't quite get the edits for this finished. I had a very ambitious and productive year. So, and now the lengths vary. My longer books are around 100 to 130,000 words a pop. I think I'm at 125 for book 11 of Aravalia, and then the shorter books are around, this one's around 60. So I'm not necessarily pumping out like 700,000 words in the year, but I'm doing a fair clip. And I'm pretty pleased about it, if I'm honest. Partially, I wanted to get a buffer on my side projects this year, which I have managed to do. I'm a little bit ahead on those now, so that should hopefully clear up next year to be a little less crazy. I say that every year. It won't be less crazy, but hopefully, we'll see. I think I can say I did well. I think if I don't say I did well this year, people will mob me, and they would be well within their rights. I like this. This here. Ciri would be lucky to get through an entire stack, each of which currently stood at half her height before her duty shift ended. No one would ever be able to get through all the files. There were simply too many, and more arrived every day. Birth records. They were most of 2... That is what it says, yes. They were most of 2 years behind at this point, but that didn't mean they could slack. Each of the names printed on these folders had a destiny to fulfill, a role to play in the ultimate purpose. The Watchers couldn't afford to let a single person fall through the cracks. It's Wolf! Hello, hello, my friend! How are you? What is up? Just in time to hear me reading a little bit. Master list 1 word or 2? 2 it would appear. So here's an interesting, for anyone who's wondering why we do edits. Sorry to go so soon, but it's time to sleep. No worries, Glowworm. I know you're quite a bit ahead of me in terms of time. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. I hope you're having a lovely week, and please sleep well. Have a great productive stream. Bye, everyone. Bye. Take care. I don't know why I got so high-pitched there. Busy day, but okay. I feel you, Woof. I feel you. I'm in the same boat. So here's an interesting little mechanical thing, right? I have written this sentence, she kept fully immersed in her task, which isn't a bad sentence, but it is using a weak verb. Because my strongest verb here is immersed, and it is sort of being helped by she kept. So it's not the strongest way to say this. Now, this is also a case where if I say I can't just say she fully immersed in her task, so I would have to say she fully immersed her mind in her task or something like that. And I actually kind of like the weaker form of the sentence better, which is not usual. Usually you would want to have your strongest verb go first, like your strongest verb doing the work. So I might not change this, but it's something to keep an eye out for, is to make sure that as often as possible you're using your strongest verbs. Although, because it says she kept fully immersed in her task, refusing to allow her mind to wander. It might work better to say she fully immersed her mind in her task, preventing it from wandering. If I could spell it right. The Office of Prophecy can be a proper title and therefore receive a capital letter. I'm taking out a lot of quite possibly and maybe and probablys and just making everything much more definite instead of having it be vague, because it hits harder if it's a for sure, right? So instead of saying the Office of Prophecy was the smallest in the keep, but quite possibly the most important, we say the Office of Prophecy was the smallest in the keep, but also the most important. Definitive. Succinct. So, a figure of prophecy was no small thing. The Office of Prophecy was the smallest in the keep, but also the most important. Each foretelling had to be thoroughly checked against the records of the Watcher's Oracle. Only true prophecies were allowed fulfillment. Insert name. So this sentence, there was, however, a single silver streak running the length of the left side of his scalp, is passive voice. We rewrite that to a single silver streak did, however, run the length of the left side of his scalp. Active voice. Much stronger. I lost my comma. There we go. Just caught myself doing a passive voice. I know it's real easy because I think we think in passive voice. So it's real easy. I write a lot of my first draft in passive voice and fix it during edits. Hey, Coffee Quills, how are you? So we have a description in this. The man in the doorway was older, but his face hadn't yet developed the wrinkles that denoted wisdom. A silver single streak did, however, run the length of the left side of his scalp, indicating he wasn't far from developing other marks of age. His face was a series of hard angles, and his nose was a harsh hook. Siri doubted he could look happy if he tried. I believe the sprint timer has ended. We're about halfway through the scene. Definitely a bit of a rough start there, but no worries. I am going to throw the kettle on, especially as I hear the ghost pepper is home. So we're going to get some tea. We're going to dig right back into this. I exist. I have that feeling as well as a mood coffee. My cousin any day is fine forgets that Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday aren't. Oh no. Hey, Mindset Match. I'm an academic working on scientific papers, and let me tell you, passive voice is a scourge. Yeah, it's... And I feel like, because I've had this conversation with so many other authors, you can never not, like... You're always going to slip into passive voice. It's always going to happen. And I think we think of things. We think of this object. Let me describe this object. We are thinking in a passive way, but trying to describe it in an active way. And I've read this elsewhere. When you're writing, you're always verbing, right? Everything is, your characters are verbing, perpetual verbing, and so you want those to be the strongest possible verbs. There's a time and a place for the passive voice, and, you know, sometimes you want the object of a verb to stand out, and then you use the passive voice. But don't feel bad on yourself if you notice a lot of passive voice in your early drafts, because it's very, very easy to slip into that method of thinking because you are actively trying to describe thing to thing and action to action. And so you think of it in that way, and it just sort of naturally flows from your fingers that way, which is why the editing process is so important, because that's the time when you really start to dig into those things and notice, this is what I've done, this is a better way to do it, sort of thing. You know, for sure. I think the reason I do it is because I'm focusing on the subject first, like the item in question first. Exactly. And I think we just tend to do that naturally because we get focused on each individual portion of a scene, and then that's why in editing it's easier to sort of put everything together. Woke up at 6 a.m. to make sure I was there on time. So yeah, I am going to take a quick hop AFK, get some tea going. It's 4:30 already, and I've still got tons of work to do before the end of stream, so we'll see if we can step that up a notch when we get back. But I am going to see how the lovely Ghost Pepper is doing, and then I'll be back with hot tea brain fuel, and we will continue this. So get up, stretch, walk around. If you have medication that you need to take, please take your medications. Take care of yourself. I shall do, Splatter VHS. I shall tell Ghost Pepper hi from everybody, and we will BRB. Have some cute dogs. Hello, I'm so sorry about that, my friends. I did not mean to be away that long. Me and Ghost just had a wires crossed moment where he was like, "You're cooking tonight, right?" And I was like, "No." It wasn't in the plan, and he was like, I didn't have a plan. So we were just quickly doing a rundown. As I mentioned, we are going out of town starting next Thursday, so we have basically purchased the amount of food that we feel comfortable using up before that time, and we're basically trying to create a meal situation whereby we use up all the perishables before we leave, and essentially aren't leaving a bunch of things in the fridge that will go bad by the time we get back. But it means that, like, meal planning is a thing. Hey, Mustang Aspen, how are you? I also see Peter snuck in here while I was AFK. Runewolf, thank you so much for saying do what you need to do. Appreciate. I always feel bad being AFK too long when I'm streaming, but it was just a case of quick stock of who has which meals and who can cook what without, I lost my hand socks. I found them. So, indeed, who needs food? I mean, me. Me. If I get hangry, I'll bite an arm off. Let this forever be known as the sexiest extended break because Peter's here. Hello, Peter. Maybe I'm the puppy because I also need snuggles. Aw, head pets, Peter. How you doing? A sentient 10-month time-traveling space-time lord puppy. Sounds like Matt Smith to me. I agree. I just thank you guys for being so understanding. I really do appreciate it, just because, as I said, the closer and closer we get to Christmas, the little more crazy things get. I asked my tarot deck what my career weakness was. Rest and recuperate was the meaning of the word? Oh my gosh! Called out by one's own tarot card deck. I am definitely guilty of that. I love it. I love it when tarot decks get sassy. Oh my goodness. I'm probably gonna go pretty quickly into another sprint here, but to the people who came in during the break, how you doing? Mustang, how's it going? I hope you're doing okay. My signal cut out and I only just got back. No worries, Maskling. I was AFK for like 10 minutes. Not gonna lie. Tea were made, but not much else happened. Peter, also, how you doing? What are you up to? Mustang, based on the messages you sent me earlier, I can imagine. I hope that at the end of the day, it can be a little bit brighter than it was at the start of the day. And I hope that tomorrow is an even brighter day yet. Matt Smith is a puppy, confirmed. He kind of really is, especially in his earlier, in his Doctor Who role for sure. I know he's done some like darker roles since then, but like it's easy for me to imagine him as a puppy. All right, shall we do the thing that we're here for? I'm kind of relieved that these particular scenes don't seem to need a lot of edits. It's a relief in part because this book does need a lot of heavy editing, which I knew going into it. But looking at this sea of red that this turns into can be really discouraging. So having a couple of scenes early on where I'm like, hey, I totally got this. I totally did a good, and I totally didn't need to like tear this whole book to shreds and put it back together. Keeps the confidence up for when I start to get into those heavier edits. So word of advice, if you're working on something and you find a scene like that where it feels really solid and you're kind of surprised that it just needs spit polish, bask in those moments because they might get you through the harder rounds of edits. I got a $70 meal comped by the restaurant without asking because the service was so bad. Dang, well, I'm sorry that the service was bad, but I'm glad you got a free meal out of it. Cannot wait to see his Morbin time. Oh my gosh. For anyone who hasn't seen Morbius, there is a part in that movie that actually made Ghost, like, storm out of the living room. Ermagerd Morgan, Ermagerd Purder, how are you, my friend? But yeah, one time we went out for Valentine's Day pre-COVID, and we went to a fairly nice restaurant. I'm not gonna say it was like money restaurant, but it was a fairly like you pay a pretty penny for the food there. It's an occasional restaurant, and they forgot to blacken Ghost's steak or something like that. Like, there was a finish that they're supposed to put on the steak that they forgot to put on. And so they came over and they were like, we can either remake it or we can give it to you for free. And he was like, I don't care, just give me my food. And so he got a free steak dinner. And it was like he's in chat now, so he can tell you. He was like, I'm kind of weirdly happy, like proud that this happened. It was he was like one of those moments where he's like, I got a free steak dinner. A remake and get it for free. I mean, he literally said he couldn't tell the difference because we had steak at that place before. So he's like, I literally couldn't tell the difference between what they forgot to do to it. Still sick, dies in Scottish? No, Peter, stay with us. I hope you feel better soon. It was a rough ride, that film. Oh my gosh. It was, the first 3/4 of it were fine, and then they were just like, we don't know how to end it. And stuff happened. I'm doing pretty good, Peter. Last week was a bit of a dumpster fire, but we're getting there. The health stuff is evening out now. There's a lot to do. I'm busy, but I'm getting there. We ordered 2 Cokes. They messed up the drinks 4 times. My goodness. They forgot to blacken it, like I even care. I went to work the next day and told the boys I got a free $40 steak dinner. High fives all around. Yeah. It was like, we were just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And Ghost told me afterwards when we got to the car, he was like, I could not tell the difference between the steak I've had there before and the steak I had there tonight. What is a pilk? If you tell me what a pilk is, I can tell you, Splatter VHS, that Ghost Pepper, the lovely and wonderful, did a shoey. So if you want to talk about something, talk about that. He did a shoey. He did it on stream. There's probably footage of it somewhere. All right. No, don't ask. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna start the sprint timer, and y'all keep going crazy in chat because I love you. Yeah, you did. Did you forget that you poured alcohol into one of your work shoes and drank it on camera, even after I begged you not to? I'm putting 30 minutes on the clock for those of us who are doing edits or writing or whatever. Pilk is Pepsi and... Oh! What? First of all, can't because lactose intolerant. Thank God, because that sounds awful. Pepsi and milk? That does sound horrific. Who came up with this? No, Ghost Pepper, no. Oh my goodness. You're Aussie now because he did a shoey. Oh my goodness. I have to do edits. I can't. I'm too horrified by what's happening in my chat. I need to blow my nose. I'm not hiding because you guys are talking about Pepsi milk, even though I should. What is Goon of Fortune? Oh no. I feel like every time we ask Splatter VHS a new question, we learn something we shouldn't ought. Oh, we've got posture check. We gotta stretch for maskling. Ooh. The internet is literally a dystopia. DM me the rules on Discord. Oh no. The internet will revolutionize the way we live our lives. We can share information around the globe. Us, so who wants to know what Pilk is? Cheers, Maskling. Thank you for the hydrate. Welcome to this madness. The global village? We live in a society. Truer statement was never spoken, Splatter VHS. Truer statement was never spoken. We do live in a society, and it is one heck of a one in it. Life hack, if you spell a French word wrong, you can get Word to automatically insert all the little accents for you. So, for anyone who's paying a little bit of attention to what I'm doing, I keep having Siri think of this person as Superior Zaskal, even when she's not speaking to him, because she's in a subordinate position to him. She would think of him this way. To think of him merely by his first name would be considered disrespectful in the context of this character's voice. So if you're looking for little nuances, little things that you can do to express characterization, something like this, though it might seem repetitive to put his full title in there each time, it shows a level of respect from the character and in the character's voice. How would we be able to do the clothesline water slide after? Oh dear. Ooh, enjoy today's dice opening, Ghost. I'd be interested to see if you got the same die I did. I'm gonna sneeze, maybe. Sorry if that spiked my mic somehow. I just forgot a really... Alloy. Alloy was the word? I almost forgot. At this stage of my life, I worry I'm getting too old to be friends with Taylor Swift. I'd really like to be friends with her. She seems pretty with it, if I'm honest. I know almost nothing about her and her music, but she seems like a pretty smart lady. You know what, though, Peter? I don't think you're ever too old to be friends with someone who's savvy. I think those kinds of friendships span all ages. is scene 1 finished. Imagine me with the money and power of Taylor Swift behind me. I'd be unstoppable. I feel like I would be happy with that, Peter, but that is a power and a responsibility that few individuals could handle, I think. Now I have to mark down where I added some things in. I think I really only added in, I did add in a description here. So I added in about 93 words. Worth of description of the keep, because like I said, I just want to start planting the seed that it kind of looks and feels a little bit different from everything else. And I'm going to start marking down the next scene information so we can start that right quick. This one is 2,584, so slightly longer. Ooh, that's actually the wrong one. That's right. I have to change. I have to do a Swippy swap. So we have to take what is actually chapter 5. Actually about the same amount. So this one is 2,555. I actually need to... I'm just gonna copy and paste this into the document for a hot second. Fiddly. Alright, and we want to take this. Then we want to come here and we want to put this back in. Boop. And now things are in the right order. I realize that there are programs that make that easier, that you can just basically drag and drop pieces of chapters. But it's just easier for me to do it that way. And there we go. Things are in the right order now. And we're ready to start the next round of edits. Starting to feel a little overly tired. Enjoy the rest of stream. Exiled Faye, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Get some rest. Chill out for a bit if you're not heading directly to bed, but please take care of yourself. I will be back tomorrow morning for anyone who's wondering. We're going to be doing more of this. So hopefully I'll see you soon. I need to go rest for a wee bit. See you next time. Peter, thank you so much for stopping by as well. Appreciate. I'm sure you've already gone to rest, but I hope you feel better. You've been sick for so long. I feel like I missed so much during the chat, so I don't know if I can catch up with all of it. I will have to ask Ghost Pepper to catch me up on the Goon of Fortune is an Australian custom. Peg a goon bag, a boxed wine bag to each corner of a clothesline. Stand everyone in a circle around the clothesline, spin the line. Okay, so one of those. Wherever the bladder lands, the adjacent person must tip their head back and take a drink. Repeat this until the last person is left standing. So it's like a, like spin the bottle, but like you drink when it lands on you. I actually would not be opposed to that as long as I knew that nobody who was drinking from the same bag as me was sick. Oh my goodness. You can play it at the next family function. I feel like that would be more of a friend function than a family function. Although I do think some of Ghost's family would be okay with that game, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. The greatest movie review I ever encountered was for Wing Commander. Even if he was dead asleep, my collie would walk out of the room and not come back till it was off. Only that movie caused that reaction. Interesting. Your dog had feelings. You said pilk and I thought you meant pink sauce? What? Maskling, are you still here? What's pink sauce? Oh, E. coli in a bottle. What? What? Oh, that's what the comment about blue. I'm fond of rare, but I've tried blue before. Right. Ghost has done pretty rare as well. Pink sauce is a monstrosity. It sounds like a monstrosity, but what... Do I want to know what it is? Do I want to know? I'm not necessarily going to take a proper break, but I'm going to get up out of my chair for a second and reheat my tea. I will try to position the chair so that you can see my cute kitty lumbar pillow. No promises. Am I going to be unhappy about this? The pink sauce. Oh, it's new. Notably, the featured bottle was more purple in tone than what was released to the public. According to Shaw, the sauce contains sunflower seed oil, dragon fruit, raw honey, chili pepper, milk, and garlic? What? Concerns include a discrepancy between the amount of sauce in the bottle and the amount the bottle is labeled with. The color varies widely from batch to batch, and the product is... It has milk in it. So I won't be eating it. Dave's Gourmet, the company that produces sauce featured in Hot Ones, partnered with Veronica and reformulated the recipe. Okay. When asked about whether her product was approved by the FDA, she stated that her product is not a medical product, which caused further backlash, including commenters pointing out that the FDA is also responsible for regulating food. Yeah. It's called the Food and Drug Administration, not the Drug Administration. This sounds like a whole rabbit hole, Maskling. I don't... There be dragons there. There be dragons there. Pink sauce do not consume. Yeah. You guys can tell how much time I spend on TikTok because I had not heard of this at all. Let me see if I can get my cute little dude in frame. I have to back my chair up quite a bit for you to see. Ugh. No, it's not. Okay, hang on. There we go. No! There you go. Look at cute kitty pillow for a second while I go reheat my tea. I heard of it from Tumblr. Oh my goodness. Another place I don't go anymore. Okay, one minute, chat. Alright, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed your time with my cute little lumbar pillow. Oh my goodness. I'm never gonna understand the stuff people come up with for social media. Yeah. The only thing that I've ever eaten that I think came off of, I think it was TikTok, is that trick where you like bake the feta cheese. Like you just get a big honkin' thing of feta cheese and you just bake it with tomatoes. And it's really yummy and I like it. But I've not really tried any of the other like food trends. I am going to hop back into another sprint here because it will be around 6 o'clock PST once we finish that off, which is getting close to dinner-ish time, and I do still have a whole scene to edit here. So let me get things moving. Luckily, I have, like, no notes for this scene, so I pretty much just have to give it some spit polish. So if you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words and turn it into one, do it. 9 times out of 10, the sentence will be better with the fewer words. Ooh, I mentioned a dude in here that I ain't mentioned before. Maybe I should give him a description. Brachus Cadabra. We did not mention him before. Maybe he should be a gnome. Blow my nose. Apologies. Could I have gluten-free pancakes? As long as they were made without dairy, yes. You can, anything that you put regular milk in, you can put a milk substitute such as oat milk, almond milk, or rice milk. And as long as you are not using dairy, I could have the pancakes. I wouldn't even need them to be gluten-free, as long as they were dairy-free. I usually just make my pancakes with oat milk instead of milk. I don't tend to use a pancake mix because I think things like Bisquick might have like dairy mixed into it, ? But if I make the pancake mix manually, I'm usually fine. We make gluten food and can do it with oat milk. Yeah, I could totally eat that for sure. Luckily for me, it's my only food allergy is lactose, and I can take a pill to eat the lactose if I need to. My troubles with food are tied up with gluten and sometimes milk if my stomach wants to be stroppy. Yeah. There are times in the month where I can't have milk even if I have my pills. Runewolf, I've learned to make a lot from scratch since I discovered that I'm lactose intolerant because it's easier than avoiding. There's so many things I have to avoid. So that's easier than just getting a nasty surprise. And healthier in the long run too, because you're controlling how much sugar you're putting in things, how much salt you're putting in things. think I described another thing. Yay! I honestly am so glad that someone else has figured out like how to do vegan cooking, how to do gluten-free cooking, because I would not know where to start. And someone else has already figured out how to make all that stuff yummy, and I appreciate that. Because I have a friend who's gluten-free as well, a couple friends who are gluten-free, so when they visit, I want to be able to know what I can cook for them that isn't going to murder them, and I want to make sure that I'm giving them, you know, yummy food, right? I want to be a good host. Plus, it means that I can still enjoy things that I love to eat even though I can't have dairy. What did I name this place? Shrinthamar. Sorry, I've gotten very focused here. And sometimes you don't know what's fun to learn until you have the right teacher. Very good point. Very, very good point. You know what makes me sad? I can't have Takis anymore because the maltodextrin, even though it's gluten-free, sets off my gut because somehow it gets contaminated. That sucks. Is it something... I'm not familiar with that. Is it something you could make at home, Maskling? Oof, I still have so much more to edit before I'm done with this. Ghost Peppa, are you still in the chat? Paging Mr. Ghost Peppa. Can't make it good as the factory? I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I was just about to ask you, Ghost Pepper. I have that much left to edit. Would you mind? I mean, I could do another 20-minute sprint and see if I can get to the end, and then you could start dinner then. Would you mind? Is that too late? Do you need me to wrap up stream sooner? You are cooking, so if that... I started stream late, so it's kind of my fault. I would like to do at least another 20 minutes and try to hit the end so that we don't finish in the middle of a scene. But if we need to finish in the middle of the scene, it is what it is. I don't want to ask you to wrap up sooner, but I skipped... You skipped lunch? Okay, we are... That takes it right there. There's nothing... No. You did not eat. You need to eat. There is nothing exciting happening in this edit. It is... I actually wrote this scene with descriptions of people and places. I'm very proud of myself. So there's no real reason to extend this particular stream because nothing exciting is going to happen. I hate to wrap up in the middle of a scene, but food must come first. Ghost Pepper needs food, so we are going to wrap up so that he can go start supper presently. I don't know why I squeaked there. He can start dinner presently, and that way we won't have to wrap up in the middle of a sprint. I apologize that this ended up being a slightly shorter than usual stream and a bit of an abrupt ending, but it's very important to take care of self, myself, my husband's self, yourself, and if I'm going to tell people to take good care of themselves, then I have to model good behavior. So we're gonna see who's online. And we are going to pop over to someone who is also doing some writing or arting or something like that. And I will wrap this up off stream and I will talk about it tomorrow, but I don't think there's going to be too much to update with. I can probably get most of the way through this while Ghost Pepper is cooking, but I just don't want to have to really, really abruptly end the stream. I'm really torn if it should be first or third, but I don't know if that's something an agent would say. So yeah, let's see who's online. I will switch my headphones back to the computer so that I can hear what's happening. Let's see. Oh look, Coffee Quills is online. What? Bard Owl's online. What? So many awesome people are hanging out, doing the stuff and the things. Gotta sit through some ads here. There we go. I'm gonna give a shout out to the lovely Coffee Quills because if you are not following Coffee, you absolutely should be. They are absolutely amazing. One of the first people that found me when I started writing on Twitch and encouraged me and helped me build my community. Please drop by over there. But since we did spend most of November raiding into NaNoWriMo, or sorry, Game of Tome streamers, we're gonna raid some people that we haven't shown as much love to. This is someone I also think I haven't gotten to raid before or have only raided once before. So we are going to head over to Strawberry Belle, who is doing some right focus Pomodoro sprint timers. And we're going to say hey to them and give them some love. Sorry again to wrap up so soon, but like I said, if the hub skipped lunch, then we gotta get some food in him. I cannot ask him to wait another 30, 40 minutes before he has food. So let's do that. I am going to be back. Here are some raid calls. Please feel free to use any emotes that make you happy. They don't have to be mine. I will be back tomorrow morning with more of this that I am doing. I will endeavor to be on time so that we don't have to cut anything short. So I hope to see you then. I'm doing 4 streams this week, so we're gonna do tomorrow morning, and then I'm gonna take a break on Wednesday, and we'll come back Thursday afternoon and Friday morning. One of those will be a writing prompt, so I'll be writing instead of editing, and we're gonna see how far through this book I can get by the end of December. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I know I was absent for a while because health stuff and a bunch of other things just going on in my life. I'm back now. I'm happy to be spending these last few weeks before Christmas with you. Please take care. Please eat, hydrate, get up, stretch, move around, do all the things, rest when you need to rest. And I will see you all again soon. I love you. Thank you for being understanding.